Welcome back. The Landless People's Movement is hosting a policy conference starting in Windhoek tomorrow. LPM representatives from across the country will convene to formulate policies that will chart the party's course in the foreseeable future. Joining us now to shed light on these developments is Mr. Henny Seibeb, the Deputy Leader and LPM Party Strategist. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening, and we are happy to be invited to your platform.
Thank you so much for being here. The LPM Policy Conference, as I mentioned, takes place tomorrow. Talk to us about the aims and objectives of the conference.
Yes, indeed. We are going to convene from the 7th to the 8th of December under the theme Deepening and Reaffirming the Restoration of the Dignity of Our People. As you rightly call it, this is our first policy conference. And a policy conference is meant to look at what are the contemporary issues happening in our country, in Southern Africa, Africa, and in the global context. The South-South relations, what is happening in the globe, and so on. So we have several themes that we are going to unpack at this conference, which one of them is, of course, the agrarian reform, food sovereignty. We are going to look at the topic that you just discussed just now, artificial intelligence, in the context of how it impacts at the higher education level and the secondary education level and so on. We're also going to talk about gender-based violence and so on, and to craft policies for the next 5 years.
Fantastic. And the policy conference will be followed by LPM's second People's Assembly, the second National Congress of the party. What will that entail?
Now, that one will happen on the 9th and the 10th of December. Basically, that is the People's Assembly. We convened it, or rather, after 5 years, and it's going to look at the state of the party. What have we been doing the past 5 years, and what are the milestones that we have reached? And we are also going to look at the national office bearers, for example, the elections, the confirmation of the program agenda for the next 5 years, and so on. So it's quite mouthful for us. The first 2 days we are going to focus on the scientific research. We have invited academics in Namibia and Southern Africa, and we are going to take those recommendations, resolutions now to the People's Assembly, where it is going to be discussed further and adopted. So at the People's Assembly, as you know, there will be a political analysis of the political report by the leader-in-chief change campaigner, the Bernardus Warboy, and we are also going to give what we call an organizational report by the operative secretary in terms of the state and the readiness of the party. Of course, we are also going to discuss what we call a financial report of the party to tell the nation and the attendants, the delegates, what we have been doing with the resources entrusted to us, and so on. So it's going to be quite mouthful 4 days in December.
As you look at the party's success over the years, highlight some of your success stories for us, just very briefly.
Yes, briefly is that we are now governing 2 regions, ROUNDUP region and Claras, at the regional council level and at the local government level, where we have, for example, very successful in terms of the distribution of land. Urban access to urban land is one of our key things. And some of the work that we've been doing in Parliament, for example, on the water and the electricity debt write-off, especially for the poor, unemployed, and so on, it's now at the standing committee level. They are having public hearings. For example, the other one is the one of the small-scale miners' plight. We have taken it to the Parliament. The big one is the illegal mining of lithium in Namibia, in Dongres constituency. You heard the president is now talking about adding value to lithium in Namibia. And we have done this successfully in Parliament already, as far as back in April and so on. So there are quite milestones that we've achieved, especially as far as giving plots to our people is concerned, just in 3 years.
Mr. Seibeb, we're about a year away from national elections. Is the conference and what follows after that all in preparation of this?
Yes, exactly, especially the policy conference starting tomorrow. Some of the resolutions and the recommendations are going to be encapsulated in the elections manifesto for 2024 and beyond for the next 5 years again. So it's a good way to start, to flesh out and to see what has been working what has not been working,
Yeah.
and how can we improve on it, especially the component of the artificial intelligence, the component of food sovereignty. Are we able to feed ourselves? What if all borders shut down? How long are we going to sustain ourselves? Some are saying only 3 months. Some at the Bank of Namibia are saying maybe up to 5 months. But we lack food in this country,
Yeah.
and that is the area that we really want to delve in and to provide solutions to.
Yeah. The conference starts tomorrow. Where exactly will it be taking place?
It's going to be at the Gateway Conference Center. We're going to start at 8 o'clock, and our foreign guests are here. For example, we have taken guests from the University of the Western Cape. They are here, and they are all ready. We went to check the venue just to make sure that everything is on. We are not going to allow people to move around. Just go there, concentrate. Commissions will be there, and prepare. Listen carefully, write down your questions, and shoot them with questions. And I'm sure the experts that we have invited will be able to provide some answers. But the idea is to craft good and just policies for LPM and for Namibia. Once you have good and just policies for LPM and for Namibia, it means we are going to have a very good country going forward.
Mr. Seibeb, thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. All the best with the conference
Thank you
tomorrow.
very much, and thanks for seeing you after 5 years.
Thank you. That was Mr. Henny Seibeb speaking to us there. When we come back, it's time for a bit of entertainment before we say good night.